Hey guys, welcome back to BeerGeekNation.com. I'm your host Chris, and we are looking at a brand new beer from Goose Island, coming in at 9% alcohol by volume. This is the Muddy Imperial Stout, part of their Imperial series that they've done a couple beers in. This is basically an Imperial Stout brewed with black licorice and Belgian candy sugar, rock candy sugar to be exact. Now, I don't know if you guys have heard, but Goose Island knows how to brew an Imperial Stout. So when I saw they were coming out with this one, I just thought and knew in my heart of hearts that I had to check it out. So with that said, let me get into a glass so you guys know how it smells, tastes, and give you the final verdict on the Muddy Imperial Stout. All right, guys, so the aroma on the Muddy Imperial Stout. Subtle coffee, subtle chocolate, lots of roasted characteristic to it, lots of roasted malt. Subtle smokiness, a little bit of sweetness in there, a little bit of a dark fruit kind of sweetness coming off of it. Slight coffee, chocolate. It's a nice smelling Imperial Stout. All right, guys, the taste on the Muddy Imperial Stout. Cheers. All right, cool. Yeah, right at the front of the tongue, a nice hop of bitterness from the, that dark chocolate, espresso, coffee-like bitterness. Middle of the mouth, it just coats your mouth with chocolatey, malty goodness. Lots of roasted characteristic to it. A little bit of coffee, a little bit of dark chocolate. I'm getting like a sprinkling of like a cocoa powder in there as well. A subtle, let me emphasize subtle, black licorice note. I do not like black licorice. I'm super sensitive to the taste. I don't get it at all, maybe a little bit, but it's really highlighting more of the chocolate roasted notes, not offensive at all. So don't be afraid of the licorice in this one. Definitely getting a dark fruit kind of sweetness in there, probably from the Belgian rock candy sugar. But, it doesn't add a whole lot of flavor, but there's definitely like an underlying sweetness to it. In the aftertaste, more sweetness, more of that chocolate, dark chocolate, the slight kind of roasted characteristic carrying through in the back. A subtle, again, very subtle licorice note, just kind of hiding on top of all the roasted chocolate goodness in this one. It's a really, really solid beer. At 9%, you don't taste that alcohol at all. Adds a little bit of sweetness to it to kind of balance everything out. It's a really good beer. All right, guys, so the final verdict on the Muddy Imperial Stout, 9%, available from Goose Island, available seasonal release, available where Goose Island is sold, much more availability than their Bourbon County Stout and all those other ones. Guys, this one is getting a B+. It is a super solid Imperial Stout. It's got some different flavors to it. It's got that dark fruit component, subtle kind of licorice, a little bit of chocolate, a little bit of coffee, as you would expect in the style. It doesn't do anything too crazy, which I think is what's kind of holding it back, getting into the A territory, but it's really, really solid. Again, Goose Island knows how to brew an Imperial Stout, and this one's no exception. Please don't be afraid of the licorice. I know that might scare some of you guys away. It's very subtle, and it does nothing but kind of highlight some of the other flavors, so don't worry about it at all. Again, I don't like black licorice, but I didn't get much of it all in this, and it wasn't offensive. If anything, again, it just does bring something on holding to the table, so to speak. A very, very solid beer. I definitely recommend you guys check it out if you like their other Imperial Stout offerings. Getting a B+ from me. And remember, folks, please like, comment, and subscribe. And life's too short. Drink amazing beers. Cheers.